Have you ever been to a Publix? Great store, right? Wrong. It is the most dangerous grocery chain in the United States. Allow our guests to explain why. The parking lot was a sea of silence and shadows, broken only by the flickering hum of a dying neon light sign that said, Publix. I, Colin Forsex, had already infiltrated the rear of the building and was immediately witness to some sort of monster eating a person on the ground. But it was eating its ass. This wasn't some sort of sexual kink though. Its rotten teeth were biting through those cheeks like a hot knife through butter. I immediately put it in a chokehold, demanding some answers. Why are you eating his cheeks? Answer me! I had no choice but to break its neck and get the answers myself. I entered an air vent, crawled around a little bit, and dropped inside the deli department. The coast was clear, so far, but I didn't know if any more of those freaks were around, so I remained quiet. I needed to get to the bakery. The whole point of this mission was to pick up some cream cheese cupcakes. Intel said that this abandoned Publix was the last to have a fresh package. Why were these cupcakes so goddamn important? I don't know, and as long as I'm paid, I'll do anything. I'll leave it at that. Anyways, I'm slowly creeping through each aisle. Only the hum of a still somehow working air conditioner and a ticking clock could be heard. As I began to finally let my guard down, however, I, Colin Forsex, realized I was not the only one in this Publix. What the fuck? So, looks like I'm gonna have to play a little cat and mouse before I can get those precious cupcakes. So be it. The strange apparition actually ran in the direction of the bakery, so I knew I'd have some ass to kick, sooner rather than later. I slowly and silently pounced around on my tippy toes like some sort of ballerina from hell. You could be right next to me and not even know I was there. Not until I put my firm chrome-laced gloves around your neck and squeezed until I saw no signs of life. And that's what I'm about to do to this weirdo in Publix. I peered around the aisle and saw the bakery. No signs of that guy yet, so I decided to run over and get those cupcakes while I could. What the fuck? I did not anticipate this behemoth. I immediately jumped in the air on some Matrix shit. I was about to kick this monster right in his jaw, but unfortunately, that is not what happened. Instead, I was grabbed by my throat midair, slammed onto the bakery counter, and knocked unconscious. That's the last thing I remember. I was found by a rescue team the next day, and apparently my ass had to be replaced bionically because that monstrosity sliced my cheeks from my body and made a sandwich out of it. And I know that shit was busting because I was in the gym doing squats every goddamn day. Anyways, this was in 2023, and I woke up from a medically induced coma about 2024, October I think. When I first opened my eyes and found the energy to speak, I uttered two words, true scares. Not where's my mommy, not where's my daddy, true friggin' scares. Because I know they will not only put my real story out there to the public, but they will respect and empathize with the real victim that I am. If there's anything I want you to take away from this video, it'd be to protect your cheeks at all costs. Your life might depend on it. If he never stood a chance there, he'd never stand a chance in the True Scares Motel. Let me tell you about the craziest, most insane, scariest Publix ever. I was matched with this girl on Bumble and we set up to meet in the parking lot of an old abandoned Publix to talk. Long story short, she called and flaked on me. I am involuntarily abstinent, so I begged her to please change her mind. And she hung up on me.
Please! Please!
After 2 hours of non-stop boohoo crying, it was around 2 a.m., so out of boredom I decided to go inside the abandoned Publix and look around. Something to get my mind off of that meanie from earlier. Upon walking inside, I heard faint music coming from way in the back. What the fuck? Who the hell is in this Publix? It's been abandoned for decades. I hesitantly walked toward the rear end of the store and the music became louder. I also saw red light flowing from underneath a door, leading to what I presumed was a party? How is this possible? I don't know, but a party is just what I needed at that point. I went up and knocked on the door, and was just as quickly pulled inside by someone, or something, dressed in all black. He had dreadlocks, pupil-less eyes, and an aura unlike anything I'd ever felt before. I briefly looked around and realized I was right in the middle of a booming party, full of vampires dancing to a dark wave type of music. The smell of blood was thick, and I found myself wanting a taste. The vamp with the dreadlocks led me to the back of the party, explaining what was going on, and what I had to do to join their brotherhood.
Your heart and your crotch are not in alignment, my friend. Only a river of blood will make you whole again. Horny again.
What do I have to do?
Let me show you.
The vamp took me downstairs to a back room, in of which were multiple black-eyed children. He then handed me a chrome blade.
These black-eyed children of the Netherrealm. You probably thought them an urban legend, have you not?
Yeah, I do. I did.
Well, urban legend no more.
These are spawns of Satan!
They serve no purpose more than to satiate the bloodthirsty appetite of me and my companions upstairs. This family of vampires is a family. Now it's up to you to decide if you want to join that family by sacrificing one of these heathens. Take one. Sacrifice it.
I wanted so badly to fill my tummy with the sweet blood of these poor demon children. In fact, I was actually about to take my chrome blade and get that proverbial river of blood flowing. But right as I began to get to work, that girl who flaked on me from a few hours earlier, remember her? She texted my phone, telling me she changed her mind and that she'd be back up to the store to talk. Just the thought of that juicy peach was enough to bring me to my senses. My bloodlust ceased, and I told the vamp I had to leave.
Where the do you think you're going?
I'm sorry, but I got some buns on the way to meet me outside, and I love bread. Oh, man.
No, you will not leave until you make the sacrifice.
At that point, I tried to run, and ended up back in the room where the other dancing vampires were. As that dark wave music played, pulsating my cerebral cortex, I started to get dizzy. Wasn't long after that I felt a sharp pressure feeling on my neck. I looked over and realized it was that vampire sucking the life out of me. No diddy. Before I knew it, every part of my body, my tender body, was being gnawed on by vampires. A creature I had no idea was even real until I entered this abandoned Publix. I was sucked dry by these behemoths as punishment for not giving in to their sick world. But at least somebody did it. If there's anything I want you to take away from this video, it'd be to avoid any abandoned Publix in Florida. Your plasma might depend on it.
Wow, that's some truly scary shit. For $1 million, which one do you think you could survive a night in? Your local Publix or the True Scares Motel? Let's judge these two frightening true tales, shall we? Now it's time to decide this man's fate. Remember, the better story will either save or unalive this poor soul. Let's get to it. Good riddance, I say. Remember to tune in to our next frightening face-off, and make sure you stay far away from Publix after closing hours.